For this lesson, we're going to be focusing on adverbs. So, to start off, what is an adverb? An adverb describes a verb, it describes an adjective, or it describes another adverb. There are four types of adverbs. They tell us when, where, how, and how often. And then on the side, I have this little star, just a reminder that adverbs can be single words or phrases or clauses. So if you look at the chart on the left side, I did list a couple examples of some adverbs. Those are all single word adverbs. So for when, after, before, early. Where, you have above, below, and outside. For how, calmly, happily, knowingly. And for how often, there's always, frequently, never. The list goes on. So, some examples of single word adverbs. We're going to look at those right here. I have a couple of sentences and I'm going to break them down and show you the examples. So, the first sentence says, she walks gracefully. The adverb in this sentence is gracefully, and the verb that the adverb is describing is walk. So, we're talking about how she gracefully walked, so we're using how. The second sentence says, I'm going to the doctor tomorrow. The adverb in the sentence is tomorrow, and the verb is go. So tomorrow describes when something will be done. We drove near the park. The adverb in this sentence is near, and the verb is drove. Near describes where we drove by. My teacher checks our homework frequently. The adverb is frequently and the verb is checks. So frequently describes how often the teacher checks homework. So now we're going to look at some examples of clauses or phrases. It's the same thing as the single words. We're going to look at some sentences and I'm going to break them down for you. So Tommy scrubbed the bathroom tile until his arm ached. The clause is until his arm ached. This describes how Tommy scrubbed the tile. And at 6 p.m., we have to go to the baseball game. The phrase is at 6 p.m., and it describes when the game is. So now I want you guys to try. I'm going to attach some sentences on the next slide that I want you to identify the three things that we went over in the previous slides. So I want you to identify adverbs, the verb, and what the adverb is describing. So right here are the sentences that I want you to look at, and I want you to identify the aspects. So the first sentence says, he swims well. The second sentence says, she spoke softly. The third sentence says, James coughed loudly to attract her attention. And the fourth sentence is, he ate the chocolate cake greedily. So I want you guys to write those down. I want you to write out the adverb, write out the verb, and then I also want you to write out what it's describing, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow when we come back to class.